You know, he's a very visionary guy with very bold ideas.
Yeah, I'm not completely convinced that it's a brand new approach. I think it's refreshing.
You know, and if you build a brand which shows up completely different everywhere, I don't think that works, to be honest. That's, in my opinion, that's not what branding is all about.
It gives me, I mean, this is showing our age, but it gives me MySpace vibes, where everybody, it was just the Wild West. And off you go. You do you in your space.
Yeah.
And when anyone else comes, they'll just have a puke party because they won't have a clue what's going on.
So
I'm getting a tone in in your voice that this is not your favorite rebrand. Welcome back to another brand review on Hyperfocus. Today is quite an exciting one because it has a lot to do with the thing that we're doing right now, which is content creation. Today we're going to be talking about Patreon. Patreon has just released a new brand, and there's a whole philosophy, a whole idea around the release of the brand, and it's pretty interesting. And we thought it'd be super cool to break it down in our usual manner, look at the landscape, the history, the logo, which actually plays a very prominent part in this rebrand, and give you our opinions. And at the end, we will be scoring this in our usual humble opinion. So without further ado, Jan, I would like to hand it over to your good self and give us some history on the brand.
yeah, thanks, Paul. Let's get started. Patreon was founded in 2013 by a guy called Jack Conte and his friend Sam Yam. Jack Conte actually was a member of a musical duo called, that's a difficult name, Pamplemousse.
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 Yeah. I thought we'd actually scored a home run with the names of the actual people who created the brand or the company this time, because usually we mess that up. But this time it's the band.
It's the Pamplemousse.
The Pamplemousse.
It's a fruit. In Germany we call it Pampelmuse. I don't know if that's connected to this Pamplemousse.
All right, okay.
Really. Anyway.
Yes, please.
Jack was very frustrated with the inconsistency of the income from online content creation. So he thought, okay, let's solve this problem, and that's why he launched Patreon 2013, as I said already. And this platform should allow the creators to make money with actually what they're doing, to get recurring payments. And also they became very famous because Jack Dorsey and Alexis Ohanian invested in this company. So they had quite famous investors right from the beginning. And right now the numbers at the moment is 3 million monthly active users on the platform, plus 400 employees, and headquarters is in San Francisco.
I also heard that he was like very, very frustrated with the whole creator economy. It didn't really exist, and out of that frustration, he gave birth. He born out of frustration, as you said, Patreon. But what I also found really interesting was the impact Patreon has had on other platforms. YouTube, because of Patreon actually started the monetizing program as well. Twitter, X, or whatever you want to call it, who knows, are also talking about doing the same. Instagram and I'm not sure, TikTok as well. I'm not sure if I think there is, but it's very, very minimal. But yeah, they led the way and were a huge influence on how we see content creation or social media today for the content creators and for the platforms to actually help us, people like us, to grow on the channel. Yeah. And hopefully to make a revenue. We make no money doing this, but there are people out there doing it, and they rely heavily on these kind of platforms.
Yeah. Cool. Then let's have a quick look at the logo history. Where are they coming from? So here is the logo from 2013, the first one, which looks more like early 2000s, to be honest. And then there's the logo they did in 2017, which looks a bit more modern and contemporary.
Okay, in 2017, that was contemporary.
I mean, compared to the one from
It looks like the
4 years before, definitely.
What's the video game? Is it Pong or something? It looked a little bit like Pong.
Yeah, and here a little animation from this time.
Okay.
That's, I mean,
Brands in motion, early adopters of
Brands
it.
in motion, yeah.
That's actually not too bad,
I
to
have
be honest.
before actually we reviewed this brand now, I have never looked into the Patreon brand. I have not really an idea how they looked like before, to be honest. I knew the name, but I have no idea like how the brand appeared. Okay, as you said, Jack Conte, he wants Patreon to become more than a membership company. He wants Patreon to become a creator fandom company, and the whole new brand should reflect that. Yeah. So they have a very, that's what they said, a very new approach to brand building. So let's have a look, huh?
Yeah, I'm not completely convinced that it's a brand new approach. I think it's refreshing, especially refreshing to review, because it kind of takes us a little bit out of the, I suppose, the comfort zone of your standard classic way of looking at things.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. But let's explore some more and see what we uncover.
Yes, and here is the first piece, the new logo.
Yeah, it's a P, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very simplified, rounded, shapy version of a P. And the idea about the logo is that it doesn't have a single fixed form. Yeah, so there's no definite Patreon logo. So also you can see on the website it's moving all the time. So the shape doesn't stay like this, but it stays like this P shape, but like little move here and there. So it's a dynamic and ever-changing symbol.
It's actually an amorphic logo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, was quite popular, right?
Yeah, and I mean, amorphic logos have been around. This is why when it says it's a new approach to branding, I mean, MTV in the 90s were doing this.
Yeah. Swisscom as well.
MailChimp. The idea of taking a logo and allowing your customers, your audience, to lay their own kind of claim to it, to put their own kind of feel, to make it so it kind of moves through different spaces. That is nothing new. I've seen that many, many times.
Yeah, sure.
But that doesn't take away anything from what they're doing, because actually one thing that I really like is Jack himself and just the way he approaches the whole storytelling around the brand. And I think he is really much a driver behind this. I watched the video where he explains the new brand, and it's pretty, like, it draws you in. He's good.
He's very excited about his own brand.
Absolutely. So you should be.
Okay, so here then, of course, if you have a dynamic logo, then you have also like these 3D kind of versions of it. So I think the idea is it can be basically everything, right? It's also, I think they want to build like a logo creator, so every content creator can actually build his own logo version of the Patreon logo.
Yeah, it gives me, I mean, this is showing our age, but it gives me MySpace vibes, where it was just the Wild West. Mm-hmm. And off you go. You do you in your space.
Yeah.
And when anyone else comes, they'll just have a puke party because they won't have a clue what's going on. It was just complete chaos. And I think that was also partly the demise of that platform as well. It was just a horrible space to be.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can contain it and retain it a bit more. I mean, this stuff looks okay, Yeah. It's quite nice. But it's in a controlled environment, right?
Yeah. All right, so we have all these different kind of versions of the logo, and then the logo typeface also, has different states. Yeah, it can has a vary between like we can see here in this animation, a very bold version and a slim. So it's basically a variable font, right?
Basically,
for the logo word mark.
But what I do like about this is what it steps away from. Like when we saw Lisa Smith, she was coining or using the phrase blanding quite a lot when we saw her give her talk at the Paradigms. If you haven't seen the Paradigms video, you can check it out here, where we review and give our opinions on some of the talks. That was a very cool video and a very cool time that we had. But one of the standout talks was also from Lisa Smith, and she talked a lot about blanding and how brands have just, you know, gone with this grotesque version of their fonts. They've just kind of minimalized to the point where there's nothing left, and there's just a sea of blandness. And I think this, at least, you know, for all its kind of quirkiness, whether you like it or not, at least pushes things forward into a space that isn't so bland, which is quite interesting.
So, and then we see here, this is like the transformation from the typeface to the logo. So they have also a new typeface, which is based on the Oracle from Dynamo Type Foundry.
Yeah.
And to a certain level, when they use like typography, then they use the Oracle, and then for the word mark, and further on for the logo, then you have like more, morphed versions of this blurry versions we've seen before. That is the typeface. Yeah, again, the idea of having a classic contemporary typeface, but with a wide range of variables to allow, to use it in different ways. I mean, that's basically the idea about a variable font. They also use like secondary typefaces, like a lot, which you can see here on the next chart. Which again, every content creator should be able to create his own version of their space on Patreon, and basically use in different fonts. So we can see here, I think it's also the Ginto, right? This bold create looks a lot like Ginto.
Yes, it does.
Then we have like some serif font there, so you can basically use whatever you want.
Yeah,
it looks how it looks like to me. And then the colors.
Yeah, interestingly, they also used a gradient as their main go-to for the color palette, right?
Yeah, we will see some examples later on. It's not like a really repeating thing, because again, the idea is every artist, every creator should use his own colors to express himself. So
I'm getting a tone in in your voice that this is not your favorite rebrand.
Yeah,
let's
so
wait until the end.
We prioritize creator expression over rigid brand color scheme. Yeah, and then instead of using a single static brand color, we've created a unique color palette of gradients. And then this is actually an image which should represent that. It's just colorful, right?
Yeah, where's the brand? Yeah. I don't really know what I'm looking at.
No. And then we have photography.
Yeah. I had a bit of I was reading about this as well, and there's no chance in hell that that's ever going to work. There's no way that every content creator is going to be able to find a photographer, or Patreon will find a photographer that fits
to the values,
your style, and then there'll be a photo shoot, and then you'll have amazing professional photography that fits your stylistic approach when it comes to content creation. Never in a million years. So I don't know how they really expect to roll this concept out.
Yeah, I mean, it's, again, the same concept. Every creator should bring his own photography style in.
Yeah.
So there's, no photography style. I mean, the pictures they choose here, I think they don't look like, they're like well done, high quality pictures, look very cool. I mean, if they can keep up this quality and have different kind of shadings, and but yeah, let's see. And then we have this overview, which is also a bit confusing, because then we have this purple color here, because they said they have no color scheme, but and it's gradients, and then you have this different shades of purple down here. I didn't really got that where this is coming from. And
and the app.
And then the product, actually we have here's some slides, some examples of I don't know. Maybe it's like campaigns.
My feeling is that they're going after YouTube. It's like they want to be the next YouTube somehow. But like the real, like the proper YouTube for content creators, we'll look after you. You know, you'll get paid. You'll get what you deserve. I mean, I love that idea that they're championing.
The whole idea is great.
Yeah, I love the idea.
The whole idea is great. I mean, here you can that's maybe, I don't know if that's how they use the gradient here. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the gradient that I was talking about. They
about
use like a gradient.
About the photos.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here, okay,
they
here's
can
it on
see
the
it
other
again.
side.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's supposed to give this kind of distinctiveness to the whole look.
And here I think that's the idea, to show the different environments of each artist, right?
Yep.
I honestly got a lot of Spotify vibes when I look at this. You know, like different album covers, and
it's a mix of everything, but nothing, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like without giving like my my score away at the end and like my full opinion on it. Yeah, there's something not quite connecting when you experience the brand for me at the moment. And
here, I think this is what I like the most. From what I've seen is the website. So let's. I mean, this is cool here. You know, you have this kind of amorphic element which reminds you on the logo, which is actually not here on the website. And then the website just looks cool. I mean, as I said, like the imagery looks nice because it's just high quality imagery. That's also was interesting that they thanked Wolf Ollens, ABC Dynamo, Type Foundry, and David McLeod. I think he's a 3D artist. Maybe he did the logo, I assume.
Okay.
So these were the people they were working with. But I have no idea. I mean, of course, Dynamo, they did the typeface. Wolf Ollens, I don't know their involvement in this.
That was it. I mean, like in the beginning, in the history, I would have loved, to be able to say who did the branding, but I couldn't find anything. If you guys can do some research for us and you find out who did the branding, whether it was Wolf Ollens or it was just a collection of people coming together.
In-house, I think it's in-house.
If it's in-house.
And Wolf Ollens maybe, I don't know.
Then, let us know. If you know, we are not sure. But it is that time again, so quickly. We've got to this point in the video, where we give our scores. Yeah,
Should I start today?
Well, yeah, I started last week, so please go for it. Maybe you can sway my opinion, either negative or positive. Let's see what you have to say.
Yeah, so I watched this video with the founder as well, and I think he's a very visionary guy with very bold ideas, and I think maybe he had too much involvement in this branding, to be honest. So I think branding is a lot about consistency. It's about showing up in the same kind of way over and over again to be recognized, to build trust, and if you build a brand which shows up completely different everywhere, I don't think that works, to be honest. That's, in my opinion, that's not what branding is all about. And you can see it. There's a certain sense of genericness inside of this branding, and I don't think you need to have something which holds everything together, and that cannot just be like a rough shape of a logo, to be honest. I haven't looked too far into the tone of voice. Maybe there's a certain tonality in their language they use, which is very distinctive, but I don't see any distinctive element there, to be honest. So my score will not be very high. I give it a 3. I like the website.
A 3?
I give it a 3.
Woo!
Yeah.
That is is that the lowest that we've ever had?
Maybe. I don't know.
Man, you were bad cop, I was good cop last week. Let's see. So, my opinion on this one. Maybe for today, for a newer generation, this might seem like uplifting, like freeing, also new. I think the idea of having something dynamic in a almost like, it's not really a virtual space, but it could lend itself to be dynamic within a virtual space. This kind of amorphic approach to something. I like that. I like dynamics in design. I like tension as well. But for me, it's like, it feels like they had one idea and they were like, okay, we've solved it. That's what we want. Let's try and fit everything around it. And in that exploration came, let's give the content creators their own space, their own identity to play.
Which is cool, you know.
Which the concept is cool.
That's all right, yeah.
But when you're building a place to go, you need to feel like you're being looked after. You need to feel like there's trust. And trust, as you say, is built through consistency. And actually, by building a brand that doesn't have a brand, which is kind of what they're doing, it's like, we're empty, we're a kind of open book, we're an empty platform. There you go do you. I think kind of takes away the value of what the brand actually stands for. And the message should be at the front, and they should just be very bold and say, this is us, this is what we stand for, this is how we look, and come in and we'll take care of you. And, you know, you do you in that sense, not kind of be so liberal in that space. Yeah, so as much as I really like him, I like what they stand for. I have to also not go. I can't go as low as you. I'm going to go with 4.
Okay.
Just because I like him. I don't know if that's a really good thing, but you know, people are a big part of the brand, right?
Sure.
And showing up, making these videos, having a company for so long, what, 10 years or something, they've been around, and what they're doing is part of their story, and that's really rich, and that should be, and it is brought to the forefront. So because of that, I'm not giving it a high score. I can't go as low as you. Yeah, okay, so I think that just about wraps it up.
Yeah, one last thing.
Yes?
I think you don't need like a super well thought through system, you know, with every asset, you know, being defined. I think you need at least one asset which is distinctive and which you own.
Yes.
At least one.
Yeah, agreed.
And I don't see one at the moment.
Thank you. And on that bombshell, we will end. But I also have one request for you guys as well. Looking into the analytics of YouTube, we've also seen that 70% of you guys are not subscribed, and it's only 30% of you are actually giving us a thumbs up or getting involved in that sense, even if you are watching and coming back. We do appreciate, but a big please and a big request for you guys, if you would hit that subscribe button. It really helps us to continue to grow the channel and make content like this, so that would be much appreciated. Yeah, thank you, Jan. That was a good one, and until next time, we will see you. Peace.
Bye. Clap.
There we go.